Welcome back, and today I'm going to be talking about how we cut the lead cost of a flooring company by 293%. I'm going to be showing you two things only that we did to tweak this campaign to drop the lead cost by that much. Really, really exciting stuff, and it goes to show you like sometimes you're only one tweak or two tweaks away from really changing the results of your ad campaigns and really anything else in your business. You could just be one or two steps away, but of course you need to do the correct one or two things. So I'm going to be showing you how we went from this right here. This is the campaign statistics of one of our clients that we work with handling their digital marketing. And if you're listening on the podcast, you cannot see this. You have to go to YouTube and go to the channel, The Flooring Marketing Guy, and it'll be one of the latest videos on there. You can look at the screen here. But if you're on YouTube, you can see. And so this is what we were getting last month in the month of March of 2024. It was about $44.88 was our lead cost. And we were getting, good leads from this, people that were interested in their services. They're a concrete polishing type flooring company, do some, epoxy things like that too. And, these were quality leads. So like you can still be really profitable from this type of lead cost. But for me and for our marketing agency, we're trying to get that lead cost down by a lot more, kind of more in that like $15 to $25 range. That's typically the KPI that we're going for. And so we went from this to the last 7 days. Let me pull this up to $15.56. So a huge jump. And it's not just one of those things where it just happened for one day and then it went all the way back up to that 44. But it's been for 7 days averaging $15 per lead. So we're kind of at that bottom end, the really good end of the KPI we're shooting for. So we've gotten 20 leads at that cost. So really, really exciting because, again, we only made 2 tweaks to this campaign to do it. And so I got this right here. I can type out, and you may or may not see my face if you're here on YouTube. Let me see if I can put it back on here. There we go. So the first thing is we changed the creative. And so this is one of the biggest levers you can pull within your lead generation efforts, within your ad campaigns, anything to do pretty much with your digital marketing efforts to get leads for your flooring business. Is the creative is the one of the biggest parts, especially when you're running a social media ad campaign, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Those are kind of the big three. Then this is going to be one of the biggest levers you can pull to make the biggest difference and drop your lead cost. And so that's one of the biggest things we test whenever we're working with the flooring company is testing a bunch of different pictures, a bunch of different videos, different variations of the same pictures and videos with different colors and like different, filters and text on them, no text on them, sizes, all sorts of different things. They make a huge, huge difference. And so I'll kind of jump in here really quickly to show you exactly what we changed. And so let me pull this up real quick. So this was kind of what, this was one of the ads before we made some of the changes. It's kind of, because they do concrete polishing. And so this is a picture of one of their jobs, and like it's a decent photo. It's a little bit, too gray, a little bit too bleak looking. There's some shine to it. But it doesn't like necessarily pop or look as good as one of those type of jobs can look, especially if we're going after homeowners. Like it says right here, we're calling out our target audience. We want to have images, or just creative that fits that target audience, right? You don't want a lot of photos and videos that look like, maybe it's a commercial building or stuff like that. And kind of this is what was happening a little bit here. Which I think is why our lead cost is a little bit too high. And so in our call to action and what we're trying to get, the goal from this campaign is to get a free quote for people to fill out a form. They get a quote and then they can book an estimate appointment or that was the strategy. And that goes into the number 2 thing that we changed. And so what we did is, in changing the creative, is we changed it to a couple of new photos of some newer jobs the client did. And this is one of them that's done really, really well. because it just pops way more and it just looks more, nicer, and just kind of looks like it associates more with what a homeowner would want in their home. It's blue. It, has a nice design to it, and it just really pops on a Facebook, Instagram feed. And so we implemented that, as well as one more other photo that kind of looks similar. It's a similar type of floor a little bit. And yeah, so like it's kind of got that swirl to it. It really pops. It looks like it's in a home. And so that's made a huge difference. So what happens is, whenever you've got nice creative like that, again, it's the biggest lever you can pull. And so if somebody's on their feed and they see a nice image with potentially a floor they would want in their home, they're going to click on that way more than an image that doesn't look quite as good or quite as appealing. And so that's one of the biggest things you can change to really decrease your lead cost a lot. Just test a bunch of different images, a bunch of different photos, things like that. Number 2, I'll type it right here, is we changed the goal of the campaign. Let me type this out here. And so what I mean by this is, what we were doing before is we were trying to get in-home estimate appointments, to where people fill out the form, they're interested, they're raising their hand saying, hey, yeah, I want you to come to my home, give me a quote on these flooring services. And again, we were seeing some pretty good results with that. Wasn't too bad. And so, but we're like, okay, this can be a little bit better. And also the client wanted more phone appointments. Like, hey, I don't know if I want to go to all these different homes, if I don't know if they're really, really interested, let's optimize to get some phone appointments. And so we tested that. And that's been the second thing to where that's helped us see some good results. So it's not on this one. Let me pull it up here. So we changed the headline. Instead of just saying, hey, get a quick and free quote on this, we say, hey, get a free quote on this, but also a second part, quick phone appointments. And then our button is get quote. So the beautiful thing about that, and why that's dropped our lead cost so much, in addition to the creative, is because it's not as big of an ask. It's a lower barrier to entry to have someone just do a phone appointment versus an in-home appointment. But you're still getting a really quality conversation and a quality phone call, from these people. And so you kind of get the best of both worlds. You combine the two to where you've got really nice creative now that people like, they want to click on, they're interested in, they're raising their hand saying, hey, yeah, I'm interested in the flooring services. And also you make it lower barrier to entry to enter your world and to schedule a phone appointment with you, as opposed to an in-home appointment. But then it can also still lead to an in-home estimate appointment. If you just hop on the phone with them, you just kind of qualify them a little bit more. You kind of get to know what they want before you just show up to the home, right? Because sometimes it may not be a qualified person, and you waste your time, you waste money by, the gas money, all that sort of stuff, labor, whatever it is. So you combine those two things, and our lead cost drops from $44 to $15. And in the end, it's more appointments, and it's more, potential sales for this flooring company, for our client. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Let me know if you have any questions about that. And there's more videos on the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, and also some more content on the podcast if you're listening on there, to where I go into more case studies, more how-tos when it comes to building campaigns, managing, how to think about things. But that's all I have for you today, and we'll see you next time.